We've got some new agents. Are any of our new agents?
He's like, I'm putting
in
in
right
right
about
about
here today?
I'm gonna wear shorts
John,
and
you're
flip
old.
flops.
You've been here
So
for
I
a
had to
couple,
pick him up. And I'm like,
couple weeks now.
he's
You
wearing
don't count
that.
as
Where's your shorts
new.
and flip flops?
Quiet back there. We're having a meeting. At any rate, we've got Rachel and Robert and Hugh, and I saw Robert yesterday, by the way. Well, not Robert, I saw Hugh yesterday. But I don't see him here today, so. Anyway, we are in a recruiting pair. We've got, I think I've got probably 6, maybe more, just loud, it sounds pretty loud to me. I know we got 6, maybe more agents queued up in Redlands, and I don't know how many, Dwayne, we got queued up over here, but there was a renewed interest in real estate. Very, very exciting. So, at any rate, welcome. Hopefully Hugh and Rachel and Robert will roll in here in a little bit. We are doing a new agent orientation next Tuesday. However, if you are new, John and
me.
who's me?
Shirley.
Yeah, well, actually, that's a perfect example. But we're, and the other John and Haas and maybe Shirley, because she's, you know,
I'm brand new.
many years new.
Brand
But anyway, we're going to do an orientation next week. If for no other reason, you guys might want to come anyway, or at least show up around lunchtime, because I'll be buying some pizza or some sort of a food. At any rate, what we're going to do is we are going to basically go through, it's going to take about 4 hours. I know it's a long meeting, it's a lot of stuff, but we're going to go over everything that we do at the office. So, which might not seem like a lot, but I went through and did a mind dump this past weekend. And so I haven't even finished, and I have 68 separate PowerPoint slides. How exciting is that? So hey, we'll talk about things literally from basic stuff on how to use the telephones, to how to scan a piece of paper, to loading docs, to the portal, to some other cool stuff. So even though we're labeling this as a new agent orientation, if you think you might see some value in showing up, by the way, we will do it in a webinar, and we will make the PowerPoint available to everybody, so if you just don't have the stomach to sit through 4 hours of stuff, I got that. But if you're new, you should probably show up. And did we ink the photo thing?
It's on the 19th.
Yes.
Oh, the photo. Oh, okay. So then the photo shoot is different. Who needs a new headshot? I know I do. And we're paying for this. What are we doing?
That's correct, Jerry will be here.
Jerry's doing it. Okay.
10 a.m. to 4.
Yeah, 10 to 4 next Wednesday.
The 19th, the day
Um,
after that.
Okay, next Wednesday. So
Is it green
we're-
screen stuff or
What's that?
It's
green
a
screen
white-
stuff?
White screen,
Yeah, we're no backgrounds.
no background.
Yeah. Why? And we're doing that because.
Because all of our business cards and marketing material, it's easier to blend it in the back versus a green one, instead of cropping you out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of old school to do the old, painted stuff. So we're doing white screens, and then the publisher can put whatever background behind you they want, I guess. That's the deal? That's the deal. So, and I know I'll be there, because I need a headshot. That's what I've been told. So, at any rate, let's go back real quick to Vilma. Where'd Vilma go? Vilma, get over here. Because, get over here. She's gonna speak? Vilma's gonna speak for a minute, and then
I thought I was just invited. I
You are
was gonna
invited.
speak.
You've got the next 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? Good morning. Everybody know Vilma? Vilma with Mountain West. She's got her own slide on the PowerPoint, and she's going to address us about something. Huh? I know it happened. I thought you said she's going to speak.
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Would you like to say something?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having us here today.
Name?
This is Matt Flores. We're out of the Riverside branch. And when Ingrid invited us to come this morning, I thought, well, what am I going to tell you, Programs, 203K, down payment assistance, you've heard it all, right? So I thought, what is interesting that could really help us allow to boost our energy, our positive? So I thought, let me call my president. He's a pretty cool guy. So yesterday I called him and I said, Gary, we're going to go visit our friends at Coldwell Banker tomorrow morning, and I want to see if you have anything interesting that I can share with them. So he said, well, glad you called. He said, every year for the past 7 years, we go to the Mortgage Bankers Association. It's been rough. He says, we come out of there dusting ourselves off. Very, very tough times. But anyway, he says, 3 weeks ago, they went to their annual meeting, and the climate had changed. It was more positive. The director of the FFHA, which oversees Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, Mel Watt, and also the Secretary of HUD, Julian Castro, were very adamant about the pendulum swang too far. And they want to get it somewhat in balance. And they want to get more, promote more home ownership, promote more first-time buyers in the market. We have the lowest percentage of home first-time buyers because people think that they're not able to qualify when there's a huge amount of programs also to help the first-time buyers, you know, with the down payment assistance and so on. However, it was a positive thing. It was very positive, looking for ways of how they can promote more people to get into the marketplace, get us more home buyers to qualify, maybe tweak the guidelines a little bit. So we're looking forward in the next few months, I think, seeing some positive changes in our industry. And I think that's good for all of us. So I was really excited when you took the time, you know, to speak to me and share all this stuff for all of us to know and to be more positive and welcome the new year with excitement.
The tone
And
is
more
changing for the better.
sales. Yes.
But we even have more people in the room.
Yes. Yay.
How exciting. Well, thank you,
So-
Vilma.
You're
However, this
welcome.
is not really the reason we asked you to come up here.
Oh, it's not?
This
Oh,
was-
my
This
goodness.
is a trick.
Oh,
We
no.
tricked you into this. We actually
What?
have something we'd like to give to you.
Oh, my gosh.
This is a certificate of appreciation awarded to Vilma. How do you pronounce your last name?
Palish.
Palish.
You've
I
known
would
me
say-
for how
I know,
long?
and
30
I always
years?
mess it up. I always mess it up. At Mountain West Financial for care packages donated to the Marine troops overseas during the 2014 deployments. So,
Aw.
anyway, we love you.
Oh, we love
And you know
too.
the brains behind the operation on this.
Oh, thank you.
So,
Aw.
anyway,
Well,
thank you, Vilma.
What was that?
It was interesting.
And
It
I
was
didn't take
interesting.
much of your time?
And you didn't, and you were perfect. So, but to piggyback on what Bill was saying, there is a lot of positive stuff out there. There's an article that I left in the Redlands office that was in last week's newspaper. I know nobody subscribes to the newspaper here anymore, except for Mike. Mike, and Don, everybody with the gray hair, I guess, you know. Anybody other than Mike, Don, and I subscribe to the paper, and John. Anybody under 40 subscribe to the newspaper? Got it. Okay. So at any rate, there was an article in the Press Enterprise a week ago, maybe even a week and a half ago, which was another Chris Thornburg quote. Chris did his speech in Inland Empire Economic Summit or something like that. And it was just, again, it's another positive deal. I mean, you know, even though it's still not great, it's better than it was. And a few of us went to the Bruce Norris's thing, whenever that was, seems like a month ago.
I think it was a month
2 weeks
ago.
Huh?
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, okay. And generally, there was a guy from the MBA there as well, who generally had positive stuff to say. So, at any rate, anyway, thank you, Mel. Thank you for your report and your support. Okay, we did the new agent stuff. We got the new agent orientation coming up next week, and again, it's open to everybody. If you don't want to sit through it, like I say, you might want to show up around noon anyway, because we'll have a bunch of food, and then we're shooting photos. Can we get a show of hands on who's going to show up for photos?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, at least a few. I mean, they're free, you know, maybe you get lucky and we get a good one, so, try it out. We are on a mad tear to increase all of our social media stuff. What we don't have on here is Yelp. We need to probably add that to our standard slide. Did we talk about this in the last sales meeting, or is this new? Okay, I am completely hell-bent on getting us Yelpified. Okay, not even sure if that's a word yet. If it is, I just made it up. All right, we are. What I noticed, and maybe I'm late to the party. Who's doing anything on Yelp? Anybody? Anybody like Yelp? Hate Yelp? Okay, well, William's giving me the hand. What William just did is kind of how I was up until about 3 weeks ago. I've been told that I need to get involved with Yelp. And similar to how Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I'm pretty bought into YouTube a while ago, but I've been somewhat resistant, and frankly, with Ingrid's help, and with Stacy's help, our Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and our social media has certainly risen to new heights compared to where it was before. It's fantastic. As a matter of fact, when Ingrid doesn't post something, I notice it. And my wife notices it. It's like, geez, what's going on? Is Ingrid not feeling well today? I didn't see something on there, which I think is kind of cool. But let's get to Yelp. Who has been driving through a city looking for something, you didn't know where it was, so you went to your Google Maps real quick and you typed in, I'm looking for In-N-Out Burger? Okay, or whatever. Am I the only one who does that?
I use Yelp.
Do that.
If I'm looking for a restaurant, I go right.
Okay, well, you use Yelp for a restaurant. I'm just talking
No,
about,
because
I'm lost. I'm driving through a city, I feel like In-N-Out, I know there's one around here, so I type in In-N-Out, or I type in, am I the only one? I do this all the time, okay? Well, what I noticed when I started to do that, and I noticed this 3 weeks ago, and it's probably been that way for a long time, I would type in, In-N-Out Burger literally was what I was looking for, I knew I was in the right area, and it pulled up the map, and it said In-N-Out Burger, half a mile, and then immediately underneath it, it said Yelp, 3 stars, 20 reviews. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I wasn't on Yelp. I wasn't interested in Yelp. I just wanted to know where the pin is for In-N-Out Burger. So then I started doing random searches for just random businesses. And about 75% of the time, when you do a random search for a random business, when it pulls up the business, it also pulls up, without being prompted, their Yelp reviews. Okay? So then I looked at our Yelp reviews. We have 3. They're all about property management, and they're all, we suck, we didn't give the security deposit back, you didn't rent us a house. So, and then I started doing it for all offices. And the first thing, the good news, the bad news is we have no presence, and we either have no reviews or we have a couple bad reviews. The good news is everybody else in our industry has no reviews or bad reviews. And the people that are 5 stars have, I think the most I saw of any real estate office that had 5 stars had like maybe 7 reviews, okay? So we are going to do everything we can to increase our market presence on Yelp, if for no other reason. Again, I don't go to Yelp when I'm looking for a restaurant, maybe I should, but I believe that this searching and this mapping feature, and by the way, even if it doesn't show up, and I'm talking Google Maps, I know the ones, from what I understand, actually, on an iPhone, that's not Google Maps, that's iPhone Maps or iMap? Well, at any rate, even if it doesn't say when the initial search, when you pull up, hey, real estate offices in Moreno Valley, even if it doesn't say what the Yelp is on the push pin, when you click on that push pin, and then it gives you the options, you'll go get directions, go this. One of the options in there on every single one of these is Yelp reviews. Right there, it's like the 3rd one down. So at any rate, we've already gone from like 1 star to 3. Thank you, a few of you in this room did listen to Ingrid a couple weeks ago and went in there and said nice things. Unfortunately, the Yelp people are smarter than we are. And they said, yeah, right. I don't know if it was an IP address issue. If you did it all from this office, they might have noticed it was all coming from the same IP. So even though those reviews are still there,
they nuked them?
we don't get any credit for them. So they don't nuke them, they just put them down under the non-recommended reviews. That's okay, we still went from like half a star to 3 stars. So this is what I want you to do. And by the way, I think you guys should be doing this for yourself. Please, when you think about it, which will be never, but every now and then please think about it. Have your mom, your brother, your sister, God forbid a client, write something nice about it. From a staffing perspective, frankly, we're going to do it anyway. If we have a tenant comes in here, which has been our biggest problem on Yelp, is sometimes tenants get pissed off and we don't rent to them, or they get a little upset when they move out and we don't give them their full deposit back. But anyway, we're going to make sure we do our part on our side, and we're going to ask all of those nice tenants and landlords to say nice stuff about us. We all do enough clients if we just have a great experience and say, hey, would you please go do this? Or new agents, frankly. We've got Marjorie in Redlands joined us. She did the Yelp review for us, didn't she? So at any rate. So I've been on the YouTube bandwagon for a little bit, and I'm now on the Yelp bandwagon. So please join me. Have I lost my mind, or does this sound important?
It's important.
Because I think it's important. I think it's really important, actually. So at any rate, and thank you, Ingrid and Stacy, for all that good stuff. Okay, monthly sales awards, you're a month behind, but we actually had the trifecta triple tie for October top selling agent, Eric, Stephen, and Vicky. So, I see everybody, but Vicky, do we have awards or we run out of certificates?
I ran out of
We
certificates.
ran out of certificates.
I'll get you guys today.
Ingrid kind of jacked all of our certificates, so, well, we've got a couple. We've got a couple for last month. But at any rate, for October, congratulations, Eric, Stephen, and Vicky. Round of applause. For top listed agent in October was Stephen. Congratulations, buddy. Did I read the number right? 10?
Right around there.
Yeah. There's listings being taken out there, guys. 10, 10, you don't mind me saying this, right? Good. 10 listings last month. It's not that hard. Is it, Stephen? If he could do it, right?
That's true.
If Stephen could do it, at any rate, congratulations, that's something to be proud of, those are good numbers. We screwed up in September, I do actually have applied for September. Top selling agent in September, you wanna come up and grab this? Or should we just have it delivered? You have a team member you wanna send out? Which, by the way, in case you haven't noticed, Stephen's moved out of the office, but he's still with us, so just so there's no drama with there.
Thanks.
Here, brother, you gonna take our picture? Don't misunderstand Stephen's departure. He's still with us. He just got himself a little satellite building to he's growing his team with. So that was September, and top selling agent. I should say listing
Oh,
agent, right?
yeah,
Those
I
are
mixed
swapped,
up.
yeah.
Top listing agent, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Leeper. Come on down. And I think Chris took 32 listings in the month of September. All right. So, at any rate, things are popping a little bit, real good. Happy birthday to Lisa and Karen and Summers in court. Unfortunately, she's not here. And Teresa, and it's always, every month is Dwayne's birthday. So, happy birthday, Dwayne. Yes. And Leanne. Who's Leanne? Is she new? We know Leanne. We probably should find out who she is. I couldn't pick her out of the lineup. And we've got some anniversaries. God, William, it's been a year? Really? Wow. And Maddie, I saw Maddie over here somewhere. Hey, Maddie, 3 years? I've known you for so long, it seems longer than that. So, anyway, happy anniversary to the group. And we got some market data stuff I want to share with you really quick. Anybody want to take a guess on what happened in October? Good news, bad news? No news? Good.
Good news.
This is median price for CRMLS. No, it's actually down a tad. It dropped a little bit based on the October numbers, August. August we peaked at 391, a little bit lower, actually about 12 grand lower in September, and then back up a little bit in October. So median price.
No, I went up from the last time I ran the report, it was below 378.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. So it went up. When did you run the report? This month?
Last week, I think.
These numbers do change. We've talked about this a lot in this meeting. These numbers do change based upon, if you go in today and you forgot to put a pending or a closed escrow in for October and you change it today, it affects these numbers. But at any rate, if you just look at the chart, the general, I mean, we're pretty level price-wise, and have been that way. This is the exciting one, though. Hopefully this hasn't timed out. We sell more houses or less houses in the month of October? Everyone guess? Pendings, not closed, pendings. Well, too late. 11,872 properties. Closed open escrow, pendings. Buyers and sellers got together and opened an escrow in the month of October. If you look at that number and you compare it to every single number from January back, the month of October, there was more opened escrows than any month in the entire year. That surprised me a little bit, and I see some of our title people over there shaking their head. I've been asking others, how was October for openings, and I'm not hearing this. What I'm hearing is, I don't know about that. October wasn't the best opening month. Because whenever I talk to our title officers or loan officers, I'm not interested in knowing how they did last month for closings. I don't really care what you did last month for closing. I wanna know what you opened last month. What new business did you do? Well, according to this, somebody's selling houses in the month of October. So if it's not you, there is no excuse as to why, because there was 11,000 properties, almost 12,000 properties put under contract last month. That's a lot of houses. And again, this information is only as good as the MLS. This is pulled directly out of the MLS. And again, what that means is that there was 11,872 properties that were pending in the MLS for at least one day in the month of October. Got it? So this is good stuff. Have we got any thoughts? Are you mesmerized? Or are you doubting it? Or I gotta tell you, I was a little surprised. I didn't feel this. October was not a bad month. I didn't think it was the best month for openings in the year. It wasn't our best month for openings in the entire year, although it wasn't, again, it wasn't terrible. So, at any rate, there is some stuff going on out there. It is good. I like it. Okay, what else? Anybody got any comments on that? Otherwise, I'm buzzing by that. Yes.
What was it? You said 92555 went down.
What's that?
The other day you said 92555 went down like 17%.
The price?
Median price.
You guys want to pull it real quick? Just to show you how quick it.
Have you in gold mine? You just
No, just pull it up here.
Those are MLS numbers right there?
This is MLS. Yeah. So, if you want to do, what do you want, 92555? That's, I don't know where we got that, Stephen, but I think you're right.
oh, we got it from the report.
We got it from this report?
Yeah, we ran it for you, me.
Oh, right, we had a seller
That's
up
what I'm
there.
saying. You pull a report, just go to Yuming's email, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm almost here. Maybe I'm not almost there.
Should just
555.
click on it and type it.
12555. But while we're waiting for this to pull, what's unique about 92555? Newer homes, higher prices, larger lots, yada, yada, yada. Price point in Moreno Valley anyway, above 300,000 is kind of tight, right? We had a house that we thought we were gonna sell above 200, and we basically sold it for, above 300, 305, 310, we started at 330. And John and Haas bought a buyer in at 295, and my seller snapped at it. So this is 92555. And this number is, it peaked at about 300 in September, and October was 264.
Damn.
This is why these, now again, I don't know whether this chart helped, but when I got a seller in 92555, who's been listed at 330 and 320 and 310, and then I bring him an offer at 295, and I send over this chart with the offer for 295. What I'm trying to tell him is, I think you might want to take this offer at 295, and he did. Now, you guys need this stuff, and this is available to you. How long did it take to pull it up? 30 seconds?
You know, if you look at the sold too, the 22 is the lowest number in the past 2 years. Sold properties
Sold
in that
numbers?
zip code.
Yeah. Well, and then the supply and demand numbers, again, to make Drew's point, there was actually 37 properties put under contract, but only 22 closed, actual closed escrows in 92555 last month.
By far the lowest. If you
Yeah,
look at the
way
zip
low.
code.
Yeah.
Right, by far.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Appraisal's not coming in?
I don't know. And actually, we talked about that in Redlands yesterday. Anybody having an appraisal problem? Big ones or little ones?
Big ones, 20,000 and 92555.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, and then if you take a look at that other chart we just pulled, again, it was a month ago, appraisers were pulling $300,000 stuff. There hasn't been a lot of activity, and now you're looking at, but that's a 35, and again, this is median price. You can see some wild fluctuations in median. This is one reason, if you hate median price, maybe this is a bad chart to use. Maybe there was a couple low flyers. Maybe there was, of those 22 properties that sold, maybe half of them were condos that were selling for 100 or 150. That would screw this number up tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at June 2014 to July, it goes from 299 to 267, back to 299.
Okay, or just the opposite.
Yeah.
Or just the opposite can happen, because we were here, well, actually, we bounced around a lot. But again, this is what happens when you use a small sample. You gotta remember, this is only a sample of 22, 44 houses. That's why I don't really like doing zip code too much. That's why even with Moreno Valley, in my mind, CRMLS is our market. That's why I always throw the CRM. There's thousands and 57,000 properties, 12,000 properties that closed, escrow, sold, whatever happens to be. That's a big sample. So if you got a group of condos or a group of $1 million properties, they don't skew the numbers that much. With this, it does. With this, it does. So, at any rate, you guys should take advantage of these. They're free. And I would think if you've got any sort of seller right now who you're talking price reduction stuff and they're resistant to a price reduction, you need to grab this stuff. And I'd like to think it was Drew's and I's charm. How'd it go, Summer?
Good.
Good? Did we win? Don't
Same
even
kind
know.
of thing when you went, but July.
Summer's been in court. She has a law degree. She was arguing a case this morning. So, at any rate, use this stuff. Use this stuff. And like I was going to say with my client on Sand Dollar, as good as Drew and I are, that chart's way better. I mean, the seller, I'm good, I'm professional. I like to think my clients think that I'm good and I'm professional. But they also sometimes think I'm a little biased. I just want to make a sale. Oh, come on, you just want to sell it. Yeah, I do want to sell it, but this is what it's worth. And this is what's going on in the market. And there's only 22 houses for sale. So, anyhow. Okay, moving right along. This is cool. We have a new program available for you guys. I'm not sure why I have a new program, because most of you don't take advantage of any of the other programs we have. Boom. little rabbit punch to the kids. At any rate, this is pretty cool. It is free. Okay? Let me give you a quick demo of this. Who needs training? Anybody need training in the office? Everybody needs training. Okay, fair enough. If you go to, and I'm going to just a super brief overview of this. If you go to, what's it called? Sales Trainers
Series.com.
Series? There is a password. I'm not going to go through the password right now, but if you go to salestrainerseries.com, Ingrid will send out an email. Did I spell it wrong? Sales Trainer Series.
Training, not trainers.
Training Series. Try that. This is a training access, and by the way, if you're new, you probably need to take a look at this. If you've been in this business for a while, you might want to take a look at this. Basically what I have done is I have subscribed to a site that has basically free training to you guys. I'm paying for it, but it's free to you. You come to the site, we'll give you a username and password. If you've been in this business for a little while, you may recognize some of these speakers. Brian Tracy, he's a little older, but it wasn't that long ago where he was the guy. Brian Tracy was the Tom Hopkins or the Tom Ferry of today. Same thing with Dave Kyle. I'm not familiar with him. Kerry Johnson, Floyd Wickman. When Dwayne and I first got in the business, Floyd Wickman was the guy's guy. He was it. Mike Ferry, again, Tom's dad. He's still kind of the guy. And when Tom Hopkins, when I first got him, literally 30 years ago, Tom Hopkins, he's not a real estate guy, he's just a sales trainer guy. You want to learn how to sell this, then go watch Tom Hopkins stuff. But anyway, this is what this is. You can pick your speaker. Let's just pick Mike Ferry because he's probably one of the most current names on the list. And you say, hey, I'm interested in some training. Hey, Lance does a business training class, but maybe Mike's class is better. Lance did a class on how to set CMA values, but maybe Tom's pricing properties is better. Lance always talks about sales and stuff, but I don't hear anything about how to handle objections. Well, let's see how Mike handles objections. So at any rate, you click on the module. There is a video. This particular one has a 27-minute video. You can watch, Mike do his handling objections thing. There is a workbook that goes along with the video, and We were doing a cold calling class a month ago. I've done 2 of these. New people come to me and say, where's the scripts? What do I say? I just say pick up the telephone and call them. You want to sell your house? Well, anyway, if you need scripts, there's scripts. So what we have done, and there is, if you go back, there's just a boatload. This is just the stuff that Mike has. Floyd Wickman, who again, I used to love this guy. He's got a whole bunch of stuff. Tom Hopkins, who I was raised on sales training with Tom Hopkins stuff. These are all, every one of these little squares is an individual video with individual training stuff, time management, closing techniques. Mike, what do we need more training in here? Contracts or sales? Sales training or contract sales?
Sales.
Sales training. Mike says, oh, all this training is great, Lance, but none of these people know how to sell anything. Why don't you teach them how to close a deal, for God's sakes, okay? This is sales training, okay? So if you don't like selling real estate, take this training anyway, and then you can go learn how to sell vacuum cleaners. It's the same thing, okay? So, at any rate, this is new, this is available immediately, and hopefully we'll see some value in this. And you guys, do you like or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put it in the portal?
Yeah, and on top of that, what we've done in the meantime, and again, we will give you username and access and the whole 9 yards for this. Apologize, I'm struggling with my mouse here. But in the meantime, all of these scripts, not the videos, but all of the scripts are available on the portal. So if you go to the portal right now, I'm trying to get you guys to go to the portal if you guys haven't figured this out. If you go to the portal right now, you click on resources, you click on the file cabinet, you click on sales training, Tom Johnson, Brian Tracy, Floyd Wickman, Mike Ferry. All of their PDFs are already loaded on here. All of the scripts are already loaded on here. All of the stuff. You don't even have to go to their website. We stole them. We took them all off. Ingrid's been downloading them for the last 24 hours. So, when I say we stole them, I paid for them. So, all of them are also here. So, this is Mike Ferry's, as a matter of fact, since we were there, this is his handling objection script. You double click on it, it opens up a PDF, and then there's questions on your commission's too high. I don't want to lower my price. By the way, I haven't even seen these, but just to give you a taste of what it is. The PPC process, I don't even know what that means. Prospect, result, prospect, present, and close, and it just goes through with the script on handling objections and whatever it happens to be. Stuff. You like?
Yes.
You like? All right, then that's all I would need. I just needed one of you. Just one of you to tell me, yeah, it was worth my money. Okay, any questions on this stuff? All right, cool. It's available. Use it. You want to talk about this, Dwayne? You want to take the loading docks deal?
Oh, loading docks. Anyone in here having issues with loading docks? Getting anything loaded or don't understand how to load it or?
We're good to go?
Okay, well, we should have more in there all the time. Any questions though, call me anytime. Email me, text me about it because we do need everything in there as soon as possible, even the listings. Get them in there right away. Also, speaking of listings, when you put the listing in, page 2 and 4 has where it says for the broker's initial. Go ahead and initial that so it can be totally completed. So when you give a copy to your seller, they have the initial on there now. It's not for the reviewing of the form, but page 2 and 4 in the paragraphs there, it has just the broker's initial.
And what-
Go
that's
ahead and do that.
That's the mediation one, and then the
MLS.
put it in the MLS.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should all be initialing those.
Yeah, just go ahead and initial that and put it in there. So that way it won't be rejected because it needs to be in the system also with everything on there.
We're putting your initials or ours?
You can put your own.
Put yours.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you've been elevated to broker status.
Yes. Put that anyway. Broker Wolf also, we're going to try to make sure we have all the files in there before people are paid. So if there is an issue where you can't get everything, just let me know. You know, of course, 2 or 3 days before it closes, whether you're going to have an issue with getting paperwork back or not. Let me know because Lily's asking me now about, letting the checks be released if everything's in the file. We don't want to really hold the checks, but we need everything in the file. So just let me know a day or 2 in advance if there's any issues with that, and we can discuss it on an individual basis, and so you can get paid when it does close.
Otherwise, you're not gonna get paid. And we're, 2 years ago when we launched SkySlow, I should have done this 2 years ago and I didn't. Well, we're doing it now. If you've got an incomplete file, you're not getting paid.
And at the close too, add your communication log in there
Right.
when you get to the close. Because that'll help if we have any issues. If you're gone or actually things that you forgot, add them in there.
Where do we add that?
Under miscellaneous, you put under miscellaneous.
Okay.
Are you adding your own stuff, Janet?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody other than Janet, and I know Debbie's not here, but is anybody else loading their own stuff into loading docks right now, or are you just scanning it into the,
I
scanning it
think
into
I might be starting to load it myself.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, if there's not a spot for it, Janet, just drop it in miscellaneous, and you can put a little note. You actually don't even have to put a note, just label it, this is the dialogue, or whatever it happens to be. But I hate to be a jerk about this, but no one's going to get paid unless the files are complete. And then come January, we weren't gonna talk about this, but what the hell. Come January, if the files are not complete, or they're not given to us timely, there's gonna be a fine. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, but I'm thinking like $100. So if you close an escrow, and you give a check to Lily, and the file's not complete, not only are you not gonna get your check that day, it's gonna be $100 short. And then it's even gonna be worse than that. If you close an escrow and the file is complete, but everything was loaded 2 days before close of escrow, there's gonna be a fine. Anybody know why?
BRE.
The number 1 and number 2 rule of broker violations is trust fund mishandling and failure to supervise. Trust fund mishandling and failure to supervise. Okay? You turning in a file the day before close of escrow completely is a violation of Department of Real Estate's rules. And I have ignored it. And we're not gonna do it anymore. It's gonna cost you $100. So don't just sneak it all in. If the contract was signed today, it needs to get in within 72 hours. By the way, the contract that all of you guys have signed, your independent contractor agreement, page 2, near the bottom, I think, it says you have between 24 and 72 hours to give me that. To give it to Dwayne, get it in the system. Not 3 weeks later. Day before yesterday, I put in 19 transactions into the system in the last 2 days. Of those 19 transactions, probably 18 of them have been in escrow for more than 2 weeks. Every one of those files should be subject to a $100 fine. Ouch. How you guys feel about that? That suck? I got a thumbs up. Cool. So no one's gonna run to Keller Williams because of that? Good, because I'm pretty sure that they have a fairly similar policy. You guys, just give us your paperwork. That's all I ask. Give us your paperwork. What else did we want to talk? We weren't gonna do that, but, all right. Yeah. Well, what else we got on loading docks? Anything else we were gonna do?
Just something similar with loading docks, actually broker wolf though, but on your closings, if you know it's closing that month for sure, let me know. Or if there's an issue more so, let me know so we can take it out of that month if you know it's not gonna close. And I think most of those you'll know possibly a week in advance at least. That way we're not counting that in that given month that we're in, and we can move it over. So just communication, basically.
By the way, this is Hugh Brown. Everybody,
Oh,
Hugh.
Blue Agent Hugh Brown.
Everybody. How long have you been doing this? A little while, huh? About 25 years. He walked into the office yesterday, I didn't recognize him. Been a little while. Welcome. Well, you already missed your introduction, so. Yeah, cake and everything. All right, guys. Well, you're going to start to see hopefully a little bit more efficiencies with loading docks over the next couple months. We're now 2 weeks and 10 days into the program. It's going pretty much as scheduled. My only disappointment with loading docks is I still don't believe any of you guys are regularly looking at loading docks. You're not looking at the files you have. Even if you're not uploading them, you guys need to go in there and take a look at them and say, oh, I've got 17 red overdue items. That's in the portal, right? That's in the portal. That's in the portal. Any questions on? No? Cool. All right. Moving right along. Training calendar. Ingrid has beat the heck out of us on training. We're training literally 3-4 days a week. Our attendance on training is up by triple. I think a few of you maybe have attended by either in person or by the webinar thing. Just know now that you don't have to be in the class anymore. I mean, we're normally getting somewhere between 5 and 15 people signing in on the webinar, and anywhere from 1 to 6 or 7 people in the class. So attendance has been kind of nice. I'm excited about it. So take a look at that. The new training calendar will be coming out shortly. I've got 2 agents, not in this office, that have open escrows that their licenses are expiring in 3 days, which they will no longer be able to conduct business. So if you're in that list, if your renewal is coming up, don't wait. Don't wait, because you cannot do anything. So please get your renewals done. Ingrid, what's going on with our e-magazine? How many we got?
15.
We have 15. Who's using our e-magazine? 3 or 4 of you? Cool. All right. So, is that okay? Working all right? Getting a little bit better?
The reason I ended up creating my own instead of using yours.
Okay.
Yeah, part of that reason was I don't like the market data pages.
Okay.
Too small print for what it is, and I think people won't even look at it. They're just gonna flip by it. So just a little feedback on
Okay,
that.
well, we can make some improvement on that. Thank you for that. Having said that, you all should have your own. You all, I like that. I love that, John. Assuming you see value in that, you all should have your own form of e-magazine. I know there's a few of you in here, I get regular emails from Steven and a couple others, monthly, similar type of e-magazine, a little market update type thing. You all should have something. If you don't have it, and you don't want to spend the money and do what John's done, take advantage of ours. It's free, it's easy, just forward the link. So we'll keep doing it. We're now, what, almost 10 months into this thing, right? And 15 out of 200. Okay. 2015 business plan. I've actually been sitting down with a lot more people doing business planning stuff, so if you're not one of those people and you'd like to, let me know. We'll sit down and do some stuff. I saw Dennis here. There you are, Dennis. What's happening, man? You got anything that's good for the business? Why don't you come on up and tell us what's happening? Vilma said the MBA says the market is great and the mortgage bankers are happy.
That's all I had to say. Good morning.
Good morning.
Rates are great. They range from 3.75% to 4.25% at 0 points, depending on the loan program. VA, FHA being the best. 3.75% at 0 points on a 30-day lock is incredible. 0 points. Any veterans out there? Are you working with any veterans?
Not yet, hope to.
You will be. CFPB came in, and we all know who the CFPB is, right? Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. Sometimes being a large lender is good, sometimes being a large lender is bad. In this case, when the CFPB calls us up, we don't want to be a big lender because it brings too much attention to us. They came in, they did an audit on us again, they do it anytime they want to, and they left and they said, oh, there's nothing wrong with everything we've looked at. But by the way, what are you doing to ensure that the money you wire funds to, that these people are reputable people? You know what we said? Nothing. We're not required to do it. Don't they have their own entities, their own regulations, their own, who is it, Department of Corporations, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Aren't they supposed to be doing that? And they said, well, they are, but we're now requiring you and all of the other lenders to do the same thing. So as a result of that, we have to vet, it's called vetting, do a background check, approve, authorize all escrow companies that we wire funds to. All lenders will be doing the same thing. Is this a good thing? Well, I don't know. It's a duplication of something that's already been done. Your escrow company, Town and Country Escrow, is going through the process right now, and it should be done any day, right? Right, Summer?
Yes.
She said right.
Yes.
So, all major companies have already been vetted. The national companies, they're already on our list.
Talking escrow companies, by the way.
Sorry?
Escrow companies,
Escrow
in case
and
they got
title.
lost in the
Right.
process.
Escrow and title, and attorneys that receive funds. This is going to help in the long run, Town and Country Escrow, because since they're already vetted, when you're out there accepting an offer, and it's from ABC Escrow Company, they will have to be vetted before we'll be able to fund any money to them, or wire transfer any funds to them whatsoever. it could take up to 17, 18 days from the very beginning. So, it's just another reason to use Summer, as if she needs any more reason, right?
By the way, has anybody heard of this before? Has anybody had any lenders that have come and said, hey, we gotta make sure escrow company? Because you gotta remember, Dennis is with Coldwell Banker Mortgage, but Coldwell Banker Mortgage is PHH. And
Right.
PHH is the, what?
Fifth largest.
Fifth largest lender in the country.
So that's not everybody that has to do that, right?
Well, it is gonna be everybody, but they're one of the bigger boys, so they kinda got,
In the beginning.
they kinda got the attention of the CFPB. So I'm just curious, we're probably gonna start hearing more and more and more about this. So part of the word to the wise, and maybe a commercial as well for summer, is if you're opening an escrow with First American Title / escrow, you got nothing to worry about. With Orange Coast, you got nothing to worry about. But with the broker-owned independents, this may be a challenge for us moving forward, because I knew nothing about this until Dennis brought it to my attention a month or so ago. Okay? And I've had to my knowledge, have we had any other lender? I don't think we've
Flagstar.
had any other, Flagstar?
Yeah.
Okay, other than Flagstar, nobody else has come to us and said, oh, by the way, have you been vetted by CFPB? So, just another one of those little things to think about as you open escrow with ABC Independent Brokerage House. Have they been vetted, are they approved? Because from what I understand, if they're not, the lenders won't be able to fund those loans into that escrow. Susie?
We will not take wire instructions on an email anymore.
Okay.
So it has to be by fax?
Huh?
Is it by fax?
By phone
Really?
or by fax, because the wire instructions where we took a loss were to a private account, and they took the money out before anybody knew anything.
Wow.
As far as the vetting goes,
Was that a fraudulent email? I mean, obviously there was some
Oh,
fraud there,
yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely fraud.
but did the escrow company's email get hijacked by somebody?
Yeah, that's what it said, they hacked into it.
Wow.
Are they from China?
I have no
That's a
idea.
great idea.
Great idea.
Oh my God.
Anyway, the lenders have the opportunity of vetting them themselves, setting up their own department, doing their own investigation, checking for any lawsuits, et cetera, or allowing a third-party company to do it. We've elected to go with the third party, so we don't have any liability on ourselves. So if we vet somebody and they're approved and they become a problem in the future, it's our responsibility. If we offload that to another company, it's called SSI that we do this with, then it's their responsibility. So we don't want that responsibility. One of the other things, I've been in the business 24 years now, and in the last 18 years that I've been with PHH, Coldwell Banker Mortgage, I've only had 3 loans fall out of escrow. One of them was because the person got fired, or quit, or somehow lost their job just prior to closing, and 2 other times where there was fraud. And what I do is I have this, it's called the scenario desk. And I can call up the scenario desk. I'm going down the road, I'm driving from one office to another, especially with your offices. It takes me an hour to go to each place, just about. I get a phone call from an agent that says, will you do this? Will your company do this? It could be anything. And the next thing I do is, rather than rely on my memory, on what I used to be able to do on this program or that program, these underwriting guidelines are changing so quickly, and they have changed so quickly over the last 5 years, I don't trust my memory for the most part. So I call up the scenario desk, and I'll do this in the future when we have time, and I'll just go over the scenario with them on the phone. I call, an underwriter picks up, and I say, hey, I've got this agent who called me, and they have this, that, and that, as far as the scenario goes. And I say, will we do that? And you would think that they'd be able to answer me right away, right? Well, fact is that the underwriting guidelines change so quickly, they have to look it up themselves. And when I look at the underwriting guidelines, they're like anything else, like any other law or any other statute. They're up for interpretation. So I want to get their interpretation on it as well. So it keeps me out of trouble by not getting into escrow on properties we can't do, or on scenarios we can't do. In addition to that, if I have an unusual circumstance, and I have, especially with stated income borrowers, all my loans on stated income go through the scenario desk prior to registration or bringing in to make sure I have their income and other attributes of the file looked at and approved upfront prior to the end of 30 or 45 or 60-day escrow. So that's how I'm able to not have anything fall out. One of the last things I want to talk about is table funding. Anybody here understand table funding?
You use cups and, is that where you use
I was
those
gonna
cups and ping pong
ask
balls?
Christina, but she said no.
Is that cups and ping pong balls?
It is, and beer.
Similar
And
to ours.
Oh,
When we send the loan docs to escrow, we send the funds to title,
You guys hear that?
same time.
They fund the loan when they send the docs. Docs aren't even signed yet.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
So,
And they're fast,
and they're super fast, super fast. How fast?
really fast.
Super fast.
So I know that a lot of agents get upset, concerned at the end of escrow, and they say, it's 7 days before we're supposed to close, why aren't the docs in escrow? We don't have to have them sent back, we don't have to have them signed, we don't have to have anything. We have to have the approved loan, we send the funds to title, and all we need to do is have the escrow officer create a HUD-1, send it over to us, we make sure it's approved, and then we send them a little number that says you can fund the wire. So in some, is this Riverside County? Can you fund record special? Yes. Same with San Bernardino, same with Orange County. I have people all the time going in the morning, signing their loan docs, we'll fund it, and we record that night.
Same day.
Happens all the time.
Right.
So, any questions? Any comments? Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Okay, we've got a couple other quick things. Again, Summer's doing great. Thanks, Summer. By the way, Christina, are you here?
Yes.
Did you guys met Christina before? Christina's actually with Claremont, the escrow officer in Claremont. So she's helping Summer out here and there because Summer's busy, and Christina's a rock star, helping out. So, at any rate, thank you, Christina, for helping out. Property management's doing good. For those of you that were worried about Aubrey and her health, she's cleared the 21-day Ebola sequester, and she's back in the office. So, in case you missed it, Aubrey's been really sick, in and out of the hospital for a little while. Today's her first day back. I'm pretty sure Lily's terrified to be in the same office with her. But at any rate, welcome back, Aubrey. Well, we did a great job with our Make-A-Wish fundraising in October. And Wounded Warrior was just as good. So, we are doing, when are we doing the Wounded Warrior thing? Next week? December 8th? I'm going to get some information out. We are doing another Wounded Warrior potluck fundraiser type thing December 8th. Many of you guys have gone in the past, and it's a good thing. So let's go. And we've got a couple other things. This is what we should have done this in the very beginning. Well, the slide was at the very end. We in honor, goodness gracious, I am so out of here. I am mentally checked out. I am on my way to San Felipe in about 25 minutes. And then we would like to honor our veterans in this office in honor of Veterans Day. So one of the reasons we didn't have certificates for the awards is because Ingrid snatched all of our certificates for our veterans. So if you're in the room and you want to come on up, John Speaker is actually from the Redlands office. He wasn't able to make it. Paul Herman has been in the Moreno Valley office but is now working out of Claremont. John Menke, come on up, my friend. Thank you for your service. Thank you, sir. There you go. I don't see, where's Michael at?
He's on Atlantis.
Oh, he's on vacation? Yeah, not that Michael. Robert Capps is, I haven't seen Mike Robert in a little while actually. Mr. Boab, Loadmaster General, come on up. If you're not friends with Mike on Facebook, you gotta see his graduation picture. Mike's, you're welcome. Thank you for your service there, sir. Mike's got his, I don't know what you got on, but you look great. You're about 14 years old. And where'd you go? Oh, there you are. You snuck away from me. You, Brown, thank you for your service, my friend. And we're a little short. Oops, what happened to my pen? We actually had someone sneak in on us, Mr. Miller. You worked here all these years. I must have missed that part. So, Don Miller. Army? Is that what I heard you say earlier? And Don Miller. So thank you to all of our veterans. And I'm sure all of us have some sort of friends or family members or somebody that's either been in the service or in the service or something, so. And also frankly, thank you to Ingrid, because she does a good job on, frankly, kind of reminding us about what's important sometimes. We get a little busy, I certainly get a little bit busy and I lose focus, and she kind of brings me back to reality on the important stuff, which is why everybody should come to the December 8th Wounded Warrior thing. It's a good thing to do, and it'll make you feel good. I think we wanted to do.
Yeah, just real quick to the RPA, read the new contracts. Go to the CAR site and get the draft, because there's 66 possible addendums that could be attached to that. So you need to read it line by line, and understand it before you're sitting down in front of a client with it, fumbling through it, because it can become complicated depending on your individual transaction. That's why you need to look at them, read them, and know what to do with them, and which addendums, because there's some new ones, there's some more, especially us that have been in business for a while. We probably need to look at it more so than the newer people, because they're going from scratch now, but we're so used to the old stuff that, Vicky, right? So, so we actually just pay attention to those, get a draft right now, and just study them.
Car's
That's
doing
all.
a free webinar on Friday.
Hmm?
Car, they're doing a free webinar.
She said CAR's doing a free webinar Friday.
Right.
Yeah, Lance has done some, Norm has done some. Whoever you can listen to and hear something from, listen to it, because it's you pick up different things from different people, how they actually
And
put it
November
out.
24th, that's D-Day. November 24th, which is 2 weeks from this past Monday, when you log on to Zip Forms, all of these new forms will be on. I think there's 16 new forms, never existed before. The RPA and I think about 10 others have been updated and changed. And then there's 4 or 5 that are going away. WPA form's going away. Who loves the WPA? I mean, well, it's gone. It literally will be removed from the library. We won't even be able to use it anymore on November 24th. Gone. So what we're going to do, since we're all in loading docks every day, checking on our transactions, starting next week, you're going to start to see in loading docks, the new forms are going to start to appear. Okay? So you may see a change or a form like RRRR, that's the request for repair response, something else with an R. So you're going to start to see these forms, and then on the 24th, we will start to remove the forms that don't apply. In closing on that, if in case we're not going to have another meeting between now and then, if you're writing a purchase contract, let's say on the 21st, 2nd, 3rd, whatever it happens to be, you will only be able to write it on the current form. If that purchase contract gets accepted after the 24th, I'm okay with you using the same purchase contract. We're not going to go through and redraft all these contracts on the 24th, okay? However, if it's not getting, occasionally we write an offer and it might take a week or 2 weeks before we actually get it all settled out with counter offers back and forth. I haven't come up with a general policy, but I'm kind of thinking, if you write a purchase contract before November 24th on the current form, and it gets accepted by, say, December 5th, maybe, I think maybe 2 weeks, then I think internally I'm going to be okay with that. You can use the 8-page contract, we're not going to have any problem. If for some reason on December 6th, you're still fooling around on negotiating a contract that you wrote prior to November 24th, I think I'm going to want you to rewrite it. Okay, rewrite it on the new form. So I'm still kind of, haven't talked to Dwayne and the other managers about it yet. We'll kind of figure that out. But is that kind of clear? Did I confuse everybody with those dates? So generally speaking, hopefully we're getting our contracts accepted within a week or so of them being written. So the old contract is fine as long as it's not being accepted in, January 12th. Okay. Any questions on that?
I got a comment. I call on various offices, and Lance and Norm and the others, nobody else is looking at it as seriously as they are. I mean, nobody else is even giving it a second thought. They're saying, go on and take the free webinar for the DRE or whatever. These guys are taking it serious. Nobody else is taking it serious.
We've done, I don't know, who's attended our training classes on this? We've done, it's kind of sad that there's only a few hands that are going to. We've done hours and hours. I mean, combined in the last 2 months, we've probably got 30 plus hours worth of training classes into this form. I'm this way as well, and I'll take it when I need it. Well, this form's gonna be in your zip forms in less than 2 weeks. Probably a good idea that you've at least read it before then. God forbid, been trained on it. So, all right, we done?
Just one couple more real quick things. On your transfer disclosure, I see a lot of people just checking the box and nothing in there. Minimal, just put in there that you recommend buyer to get a professional home inspection, even if the property's as is, whatever the condition may be. Recommend that. And most of us probably don't realize that we say a refi, you got a 3-day right of rescission. There are certain things in a purchase too. And they're actually the lead-based paint, mellow roofs, natural hazard disclosure, and transfer disclosure. So make sure those are from the time that the buyer gets them in their possession. So make sure you get those in their possession as soon as possible, so you won't find out 2 or 3 weeks later, if they get that stuff, that there's an issue. So do that. And also these the title reports. Make sure you're reading those, because we're finding heart in there under different names. And then that becomes an issue much later, which you can know up front. If you don't understand it, ask someone, title company, whoever, what an explanation of something in there that you don't understand. But those prelims are very important, that we find out up front what kind of issues they are, especially now with the hearts.
You know, as we go, it just makes me think of something else. If you're looking at the loading docks, and you're looking at the yellow and the green and the red balls and all the rest of it, and the red means it's overdue, that's cued off the contract. We're not making these up. So if it's red, for example, Dwayne's talking about transfer disclosures, in the contract, and we're using the car contract, if it says seller disclosures are to be delivered to buyer within 7 days of acceptance, right? Well, in loading docks, we've added, I think, 3 days to that. So we've said, you guys have to get them to the buyer within 7 days. You should certainly be able to get them loaded into loading docks within 10, right? Well, there's almost every single file, every single one of those things out of contract. Almost every single one. You know, you've got to get TDSs, you've got to get all the disclosures. I think the prelim default is supposed to be to the buyer within 7. What happens if you don't give a buyer a TDS within 7 days? What could happen? They could cancel, just because you haven't given them the disclosures. Who's been trying to fight for disclosures 5 days before close of escrow? Okay, yeah. So, at any rate, just so you know, the stuff in the contract that Dwayne's talking about does tie into loading docks. Those red, overdue, those aren't just random dates. Those are based upon what the contract says. So if it's red in loading docks, as far as I can tell, you're out of contract. So, kind of important. All right, gang, go sell something.